Ladies, gentlemen, let the show begin. Alright, do you like video games? And I know you do. What about entertainment? We got that too. Video game, I'm on a video game. Video game, oh, what's the name? Video Game Armada. This is the one Trauma Gamer Boss Bronze.
The information up for a true backlash.
And the First Lady of Media, Blue.
Alright, it's time for the aftermath of not a movie, but an event. WrestleMania, yay!
WrestleMania 32, get it right.
It's still WrestleMania. It's like saying Terminator. Which one? All of them! But today it is WrestleMania 32. And I have to say, I enjoyed the event. It was a very classy, exciting, unexpected show with so many twists and turns. But, I'll be honest, wrestling is not my guaranteed forte. So we're going to let the one true... I don't know.
Trying to give me your moniker, huh?
I know, right?
I'll take it. The one Trauma Gamer.
I was going to try to be funny and say the one true wrestling fan... True Backlash do it, but I got messed up. But yet, that's you, so you can lead this one off, and I shall provide my comments, and so will Blue. She didn't see all of them, but she saw enough.
Okay. And I loved it. Loved it.
Alright. So, since there's no story there, really, there is a story, but it...
Ish,
but it would take way too long to explain on a review here. I'll just give you a rundown of the card, and if for those who are not initiated, who watch New Japan, who watch TNA, don't watch wrestling at all. I'll just give it a brief description of the people. So we gotta start with the pre-show, which you have Kalisto, a small luchador, masked wrestler, versus Ryback, a big, giant, monstrous pro wrestler. So it's always like a big and small battle for the United States Championship. The next battle was Team Total Divas. Team Total Divas consisting of Brie Bella, Alicia Fox, Natalia, Eva Marie, and darn it, I'm blanking on the Paige. Paige versus Team Bad and Blonde. A team made up of a black woman, a Samoan woman, Team Bad, and a bunch of blondes. Which is Naomi, Tamina Snuka, daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Lana, Summer Rae, and
Lana!
not that one. She'd be on the bad side of things, and Emma. So basically, I would describe, but it's too long. Take too long for that. Then you got the Dudley Boys, tag team that uses tables, except they said they wouldn't use tables.
But they did.
Yeah.
Bad
Versus the Usos, a Samoan tag team consisting of two brothers.
Love the Usos. Oh, love them.
In the main event, on the main card of WrestleMania, you start off with the Intercontinental title ladder match. Basically, they hang up the title on top of a ladder, and a quick chaos ensues where you try to grab every ladder to either grab that title or hurt your opponents, which featured the champion, Kevin Owens.
That was really nuts, that ladder match.
Yeah.
It went on and on and on.
We'll get to that.
Put me in my place.
No, well, we'll get to it. And basically, it comprised of Kevin Owens, pretty much a jerk wrestler who does things because he wants to get paid and wants to succeed, take care of his family. Aw, but boo. His eternal rival, Sami Zayn. This pale ginger wrestler who everyone loves because he's good at what he does, and that's wrestling. You have Dolph Ziggler, the pretty boy, the best, claims to be the best at what he does. Well, that's Jericho. We'll get to him.
Technically, that's Wolverine, but okay.
Yeah. He's like he's the showstopper. And you also have The Miz, a B-list actor who got it started on the real world before coming to wrestling. Zack Ryder, everyone's favorite underdog. Stardust, son of the legendary late Dusty Rhodes, who goes by Cody Rhodes in real life. And here I am blanking again.
And he's married to an announcer for the
Ethan
WWE.
Styles, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sin Cara, Kalisto's tag team partner. Actually, taller and also a luchador. You go on to the match with the tag team match where you have the New Day, 3 African American wrestlers who dressed up as Saiyans for the event. They're pretty big nerds.
Day.
They're pretty big nerds, and versus the League of Nations, a group of wrestlers comprised of other places of the world.
That's not America. America.
America. Next match, you have no holds barred match, no disqualification. Brock Lesnar, you probably heard of him from UFC, versus Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. This guy originally from a hardcore wrestling organization called CZW, who this match was up his alley. He's unpredictable and pretty dangerous. That's what makes him good at what he does. You also had, let's see. Man, that was crazy.
Well, while he's thinking, I'll just reiterate, there were 100,000 people present in Dallas at the time. That was quite an amazing turnout. I mean, not uncommon, because they always get a huge turnout. Sellout crowd is what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Every time there's a WrestleMania.
I'm pretty sure they broke records on this one.
Okay.
The Rock told me, so it has to be true.
The Rock, he was there too.
Well, one of the many surprises.
And that's one of the things that I enjoyed. Got a chance to see some surprises, and I got a chance to see some old friends. I mean, they came on and they did not disappoint. Plus, I really like some of the costumes. They came out with some of the jazziest costumes, like in the pre-show.
With it being WrestleMania, they have to, you know.
Who was a lucha in the pre-show?
Sin Cara.
Yeah. He came out with
No,
this.
that's Kalisto.
Was it Kalisto?
Kalisto.
He came out with this white outfit that was laid out. Had like a little, believe it or not, the shoulders were really sort of like an Asian inspired design, but he just looked amazing. It was like
his big shoulder pads.
With the it was awesome. And then, needless to say, like Backlash mentioned, I really enjoyed seeing New Day. They're so crazy.
They are pretty crazy. They've really made their own thing, and I just hope they still remain popular, because after a time, with thanks to like disgruntlement and the loudest minority, people who were famous and well liked are like slowly but surely become hated because of reasons.
Yeah. Okay, the last matches are, we have Charlotte, the daughter of the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair, versus Becky Lynch, an Irish wrestler with a lot of submission holds.
I missed that. Who won?
And Sasha Banks. Should we give out match victories here, Barong?
Well, one at a time. All right. This is your rundown. Then we'll quickly go through all the things we ran down and have our opinions.
All right. And then Sasha Banks, the third member. It's a triple threat match. Sasha Banks is a cousin of Snoop Dogg. Yeah, and she's known as the Boss. She's quite good at wrestling, to the point where everyone's starting to rethink how women's wrestling is, because in part of her.
Huh.
And then you had Undertaker, this undead wrestler who's been around forever.
Everyone knows who the Undertaker
Undead.
is. Come on.
Yeah.
He's undead.
Come on. Everyone knows who Undertaker is.
All right, versus Shane McMahon. We have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Oh, it would take way too long to tell you everyone, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a couple people. You know that fitness guru DDP from DDP Yoga?
Yep.
He was a former wrestler, kids. He was in the Battle Royal. The world's largest athlete, The Big Show, he was in the Battle Royal. Kane, the Undertaker's brother, was in the Battle Royal. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, was in the Battle Royal. And Shaquille O'Neal,
which was amazing,
was in the Battle Royal.
Who's bigger between him and?
It was Shaq. It was.
Wow.
He looked pretty bigger. So
he's even bigger than the Big Show.
I guess that's oxymoron. That Big Show's world's biggest athlete, and Shaq, not a wrestler by trade, but he's bigger. And then we had a match. We had a secret match, which we'll get back to. And finally, Roman Reigns, the big Samoan.
Fine. Roman Reigns. The boy's fine.
I mean, he's the new kid on the block, more or less. He's the main eventer. He's the flavor of the month. But depending on who fans you ask, he's just in the way.
He's fine.
And then
Even though they liked him before.
yeah, and then the Triple H, and then he fought Triple H for the WWE Heavyweight title. Triple H is a longtime guy, been there since the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Smart businessman, but he married smarter, married into the business to Vince McMahon's daughter. So,
Oh wow.
We're losing him.
All that rundown. This is wore him out.
We're losing him.
Alright. So the rundown. Kalisto defeated Ryback to retain his title. Team Total Divas defeated Team Bat and Blonde, in which is Brie Bella's last match for the company, because her husband, Daniel Bryan, you might have heard it on Today's Show or Good Morning America, he has several concussion symptoms. He can't wrestle anymore. So Brie, out of support to her husband and to hope and to start a family, we all know what that means. It's going to retire with him.
Isn't her sister messed up?
Well, yeah, Nikki Bella, she came out at the end of the match to celebrate her. She's in a neck brace right now. She'll never wrestle full time again. So you might see her every so often wrestling. She has a better diagnosis than, say, a lot of wrestlers like Edge, like Santino Marella, like Daniel Bryan, like Christopher Nowinski. These guys can never wrestle again. And they're all very much young. Edge is in his 40s, but, that's still fairly young.
And just so you know, folks, I mean, I'm one of those ones that believes that wrestling is scripted, okay? But obviously, these folks go out there and they really do put their bodies on the line for all that entertainment that they give us. They do. Because they wouldn't be, getting out of the business early with all these major injuries. Those things aren't scripted. It may just have a flow, but not all that they put their bodies through.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the match was good. That particular match was good enough. I enjoyed it to a certain degree, for one of being the preliminary start matches.
Which one?
Which one? The
Yeah,
Kalisto Ryback or
Which one?
the Team Bad and Blonde and
The Team Bat and Blonde one. We probably should discuss them as we go now,
Alright.
otherwise we'll
Alright.
be here all night.
Okay, so
Well, nobody wants that. We're still trying to get a raise.
Alright, well, we'll keep it short and sweet for all of them. Kalisto versus Ryback, I thought it was good for what it was. The David and Goliath story. And I thought the way Kalisto won, using trickery, but he wasn't cheating, but he made sure he got the better of the big guy.
Unfortunately, the big guy was getting a little arrogant, too.
Yeah.
He thought he could just end it anytime he wanted. He underestimated the little guy. You never want to underestimate the little guy.
And that's all he's been doing. But it was a good match for what it was, and I enjoyed it.
Did you see that one, Blue?
No, that's one I miss.
All right, moving on.
All right, the 10-man tag team Divas tag team match, which from now on, people, they are not divas. For who do watch WWE, they are not divas. It turns out it's been around since the Attitude Era. It's women, women's wrestling. They are women's wrestlers now. So you don't ever want to think about the Divas again. The Divas title is going away. That gaudy butterfly, pink and butterfly.
Sarcasm.
The Divas now will now be referred to as women's wrestlers or superstars. And to prove that, they took down the Divas section of their website and and changed it and put all the women into the superstars category.
And I gotta say, didn't they design a heck of a belt for the women?
Yeah. As rebranding and redesigns go, it's a very good belt.
It's a nice belt.
I mean, calling, admonishing the term divas is like, oh, that's a bad curse word. Never say it again.
Yeah, it's like, and it was quick how the pre-show. Excuse me. It was quick how the pre-show commentary team, Renee Young, and Booker T, pretty much buried it under a house of cards. It's like, it was funny. It's like Well, I'm glad we finally could get over that stupid belt. It was so ugly. I don't never like that term diva and Booker T just suck it up. It's like, I agree with you. It's just terrible. You know, it's like, oh come on.
Sounded like Hercule there for a second.
Can you dig it, sucker? Let's see, the Usos versus the Dudley Boys. If I had to say 1 week look at the card, this was it. The work was fine. I'm glad the Usos won. I'm kind of disappointed Dudley Boys broke their oath. They used those tables.
And they cheated.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
okay. It's all
Yeah.
good.
And, you know, it's okay. The guys, best man were the Usos beat the Dudley Boys. But, you know.
At first, they really didn't until they, because they cheated.
Yeah.
But in the end,
You know the rule. Whenever they're heels, there's no such thing as honor or code. They're gonna, even if they say they're not gonna use a table, they're gonna definitely use a table. But I did notice that the crowd was pretty salty when it wasn't the Dudleys who used the table.
Oh, yeah. Boo, don't use the table. But I mean, it's like, it was okay. What did you guys think?
I enjoyed the match. It was definitely on form with the Dudleys. Although I would have liked to see more, I don't know, veteran style trickery out the ring. They were a little basic this time around. I mean, the Usos definitely demanded their full attention, but it doesn't mean like, oh, I said, let's do this, guys. You know, like, don't do anything too crazy. Just save that stuff for the WrestleMania, which they were very good at doing.
and they were quick to keep bringing up the fact that they were going to do to the Usos, try to play with their head like they did to their dad, Rikishi. Everybody knows that Rikishi is his Usos' dad, I'm sure, but
The big butt guy back in the 90s.
yeah, I never liked his style, honestly. I mean, he didn't have to do the things that he did, but he had his own following and he was a popular guy. But I think he could have been amazing if he didn't do the whole gimmick. But nonetheless, they wanted to play with the Usos' head, and they did it pretty effectively, I think, because every time they mentioned that, they just got angrier and angrier and angrier. But in the end, they won.
Yeah.
Good match.
Alright, so Zack Ryder, the underdog, the guy I've been rooting for since forever. He wins the Intercontinental title against the rest of them, and it's mainly because of the Miz's hubris, because he just sat on the ladder, and, you know, he just like, do, I'm taking all day. Hey, look, greatest stage of them all. I'm
Oh,
picking my
no.
toenails.
He absolutely could have had that. The
I-
Miz, his whole thing is arrogance anyway.
Yeah,
But I like The Miz.
I couldn't have been happy. I like him too, but I'm glad Zach won, and I couldn't be happier at the result. That made my night, and that was the beginning of me knowing that this was going to be one of the greatest WrestleManias for the ages.
That 6-man was pretty good for me too. It was like all sorts of high risk maneuvers, a lot of good bumps, a lot of good like tributes. I definitely like Stardust breaking
did
out the
too.
polka dots
Loved
for his dad, and as well as a polka dot ladder.
That was the funniest.
That was pretty funny. And again, I am glad Zack Ryder won. He reached a brass ring on his WWE career. Slight update. He lost the title already on Raw.
Spoiler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't have it long.
Thanks, waifu. You saved the day.
Maurice, a former WWE women's wrestler, who coincidentally is married to the Miz.
Yeah, you said that. She said that already. She already knows.
Okay.
Yeah, the Maurice was the one who sort of indirectly screwed Zack Ryder. But I have a funny feeling there's going to be another rematch on the way.
Yeah. So, let's see. We did forget one more match, but we'll get it out of the way. Chris Jericho defeats AJ
Oh, wow,
Styles.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it was okay. You know, it was good. I thought they were going to bring a New Japan level technical extravaganza, and they didn't. But, you know, all things considered, hardly a bad match. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. It's a funny thing when you have these timeless characters like Chris Jericho. I mean, truly the dude is timeless. And for the first time, I actually got a chance to see a little hint of his age. Just a tad, which was surprising, but it was still good to see him out there.
Gotta say, I don't think that's going to be the best that these two men will ever have if they wrestle again. But for WrestleMania, it was quite good. A lot I mean, it's not quite New Japan quality in terms of ring work, and that's what most indie darling fans were expecting. For a WWE match, it was definitely good to see. Jericho brought his mean bad guy game to the forefront. AJ performed very well for his first WrestleMania. That's amazing. So I thought it was a quite solid match.
I'm surprised he got that far as he did because, again, this is AJ's first match. And even though it wasn't the true blue technical extravaganza, which is the smart marks are requesting for these, you got to realize that Chris Jericho is not the young spring chicken anymore, but he can still work and he can still move. And he did very well against this AJ Styles, Mr. Phenomenal, up-and-coming super-duper star.
Yeah, as if he's never worked in New Japan or TNA before, or WCW for that matter.
Yeah, and it was amazing because, as we all know, he is somewhat of a timeless entity. Every time you see him, he doesn't never seem to age. He's always kind of very fit and very full of life and good moves. This time, I gotta say, I was for the first time able to notice a little bit of age on the gentleman, but he still did an impressive show.
Yep, you can thank the DDP Yoga for his health and wellness. DDP Yoga, giving wrestlers a second chance and paratroopers thin bodies and able to run again. Beautiful.
Paid for by the sponsors of DDP Yoga.
Uh-huh. The next match, you had the League of Nations beating the New Day. The New Day coming out to their entrance in a Booty-O's cereal box, giant Booty-O's cereal box. Booty-O's, they make sure you ain't booty. And dressed up as insane armor, or more particular, it could be the Planet Trade Organization armor for Lord Frieza. It could be the Ginyu Force for all we know, because they had logos on their side, like the Ginyu Force does. Regular Saiyan armor doesn't have that, but I digress.
The best thing about the Ginyu Force, ladies and gentlemen, is that there was just the main 5, but that doesn't mean that was all the Ginyus. In the 20-year anniversary of Dragon Ball Z, 2 more space minions who were part of the Ginyu Force showed up to cause trouble, but they were no match against the Power Saiyans.
Nope. So they got beat by the League of Nations. Again, the Smarkies aren't happy because their favorite African American nerd team lost. But I'm not too thrilled about it either, because they were clearly outnumbered. But it was a solid match. Again,
clearly outnumbered.
Yep. So, clearly outnumbered, and it was a solid match. So I put my props to all the guys involved. But that wasn't what made me excited about it. What made me excited was happening after. As Shawn Michaels, several years retired, mind you, still looks like he's been doing his DDP yoga.
Yes.
At least his crunches, dang. Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's been retired even longer, and Mick Foley, who's been in and out of wrestling for a while, but is supposed to be retired at this point, came down and beat the crap out of the League of Nations with the New Day. And then after that, the exhibitionist that is Shawn Michaels, even though he's a born-again Christian,
yes,
and the always hammy and goofy Mick Foley, they were dancing with the New Day. When they tried to get Austin to do it, he's like, nah. It's like,
at first he tried to act like he was going to go along with it, but we all know where that was leading.
Yep, Xavier Woods got dropped with a stunner.
Bam.
To be fair, he tried to be nice. Xavier Woods was saying dance, and then Austin was saying beer. No, dance, man. No, beer. Beer, please. Beer. No, come on, it's like this. And as you all well know, Stone Cold, like a snake himself, he's said, okay, like this, like he was getting into it and everything, he was maybe he'll do a twerk. Then don't stunner.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool because, seeing him even come out into the audience from backstage into the actual the ring was just an amazing thing. We all kind of hoped that we're going to see it, but you really never know who's actually going to be unless they're headliners, right?
I think you actually called it, didn't you, Blue? When you saw that and said, okay, we're Stone Cold. I know, we're Stone Cold. And I was saying in my brain, oh, come on, Stone Cold's not coming out. He's an announcer. He's a podcaster now. And then I heard it and said, "Oh, here he comes! Holy crap!"
Crack the glass.
Yep. So next up, we have a match: Brock Lesnar versus
Boo!
Dean Ambrose. Brock Lesnar kiboshed him. It was supposed to be a no-holds-barred street fight, and for the most part, Brock picked up weapons, but at no point did he actually use them. He more like taunted Dean Ambrose with them or broke them. Dean Ambrose, on the other hand, he had all these weapons. He was given Barbie. Barbie is a barbed wire covered baseball bat used by McFoley's alter ego characters, Jack by McFoley, and a chainsaw by Terry Funk, neither of which he used, thankfully, for that latter one, but it stalled, okay? The chainsaw stalled. But he did try to use Barbie, but Brock countered. Every other weapon Dean used was effective, made the match closer, and it would have made it more exciting for it. But at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar gave him like 18 or 20 suplexes and then finished off with an F5. You know, Dean Ambrose got more damage than Brock could have, and that's in part because he smashed into his own weapons half the time. Good match. I wish Brock would have lost, but that wasn't happening.
Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of Brock Lesnar. I want him down so hard. He's just some wild animal-like wrestler wannabe who people think is intimidating or not, but he's got the chicken legs of a chicken. There's nothing intimidating about him. He needs to be seriously curb stomped. I didn't think Dean Ambrose had it in him to do it, but at least I thought he was going to make him get hurt with a couple of like baseball bats or steel chairs, but nope. Like a steel chair, Dean Ambrose folded way too quick. So I'm a little disappointed in this one.
Well, it's like with Brock Lesnar, it's like with all of the wrestlers, they continue to evolve, they continue to reinvent themselves, and they continue to grow in ways that, you would expect over the years. Brock Lesnar, he grew a little bit in the beginning, and then he kind of got stagnant, and he's been in that one little place ever since. It's like he just stumbled upon Troglodyte Town, and that's as far as he's got.
Well, he said, I'm in UFC. I'm a legit fighter. I'm gonna spend the rest of my time with my hot wife Sable at Suplex City, and that's where you're going too, Suplex City.
And that's it. That's all he got. Is that all you have? That's all he has.
That's all he has. All right, next one, Charlotte won. It's the first WWE Women's Title winner, which is not even true. Layla L is. This is when after the get the F out times with the women's title, but that was the first women's title with Alundra Blaze, my girl Jackie, Lita, winning that title. It was WWF title, but then it became the WWE title briefly. So technically, it's not the first title, you knobs. But anyway, Charlotte won the WWF Girl Power title.
And Charlotte would be
the daughter of Ric Flair, of course.
okay.
She came out dressed in the nines and in her daddy's robe, which she initially retired from at least WWE in the WrestleManias prior. Meanwhile, Sasha Banks, cousin of Snoop Dogg, had her cousin rap for her, as well as another singer. The singer was kind of pitchy. It was a nice sentiment, though. Oh, by the way, speaking of events, Blue would like to remind us all that Fifth Harmony sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
It was very awesome. And for those of you who might have been not the American Idol fan, but when Simon Cowell left and went to something else, what was that?
X Factor.
X Factor. The Fifth Harmony was a particular individual group of women, really hot young girls, who he put together as a group, and under his tutelage has taken those girls quite far. So it was a pleasure. They're talented. They kind of remind you of In Vogue. Even though they didn't get a chance to show you all that they do,
Yeah.
they were still present.
Oh, absolutely. But anyway, you got Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch came to A-Train steam. There was like lots of A-Train steam, but with her entrance, which is kind of cool. She's more about a steampunk kind of thing, because the only other thing she has is she has radically orange hair and she's Irish, and I don't think they want to focus on either of those. But anyway, Charlotte won. It was probably, I have to say it, probably the most solid textbook match on the card, which makes me very happy. I heard a lot of good things about these young ladies on NXT, and I've even seen a lot of Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks' feud in NXT.
Now, I actually had to step away at that time. I had a conference call. You know how that is for Armada. However, did Ric Flair actually cheat for his
Oh,
wife?
of course he did. That's the only sound point in the match.
Kind of figured. That's so like him.
Yeah, basically,
That's so Raven.
It comes down to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, sadly, she's probably the closest to getting the face good guy reaction of the three women. But at the same time, she's also seen as the weakest link. She was the one who tapped out to the figure eight, Charlotte's finishing move, while Sasha was being held back by old man Ric Flair. So that's how it ended on a cheap note, but overall, all three women busted their butt. I'm proud of their social justice moments. But honestly, until they get in some more of those Divas champions and women managers that started like Missy Hyatt, Terry Reynolds, aka Goldust's ex-wife Marlena, um, Miss Elizabeth, until they nominate them into the Hall of Fame, their little moment still got holes in it. And we'll see how long this lasts. I hope it lasts for a good while, but we'll see. So, Bronze?
To the quote, Rainier Wolfcastle, good enough.
I mean, here's at the very least, unless you really had to go to the bathroom, don't get bladder infections over it. If you really have to go to the bathroom, no one will be able to classify this as the bathroom break match. If you don't have to go to the bathroom, stay, watch it, you'll like it. All right, the next battle is Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. Hell in a Cell.
Language.
Yeah, well, I have to say it. It's part of the title. Got to give them their respect. Respect is due, unless it's something like my dad says. Anyway, Undertaker pretty much beat the stuffing out of Shane. Now, unlike the very, very, very one-sided Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar match, Shane used weapons. Shane used submissions. Shane had an ace in the hole, which I won't spoil if you haven't watched Mania yet. And he kept up. He kept pace with the Undertaker. Not only being a non-wrestler, but also being way older than Ambrose. And I'll be not afraid to say it, and a lot of people have a problem with that. I'm like, who cares? He was fighting for the sake of WWE. He was going to take Raw away from his dad. He had to prepare. And plus, his opponent is older than Brock Lesnar. So it's not the same. And you know what? Shane threw everything he had at The Undertaker. Everything. And The Undertaker likewise threw everything he had at Shane. And it was just brutal. It was insane. But like, it's disheartening to think that all the internet reviewers out there, all I could think about was Shane, the one spot that Shane did near the end. It's like the match is always going to be about that. It's like, no, watch the match. It was beautiful in its brutality. It was insane, and yet people didn't want to care about that. But I'm telling you right now, I loved it.
As you can see, the Backlash is pretty passionate about this match. And I could see why. It was very, 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 very well paced. Very brutal, as he said. The Undertaker was still stoically menacing. But Shane, he wasn't going to give up. He knows the Undertaker. And he said, I'm not going to get hurt. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out like a G. And he still has the moves. 20 years, 15 years, 20 years later, he still got it. And he's still doing the craziest thing I ever seen a wrestler do. And I still count him as a wrestler. Only a wrestler would jump off of high things to try to slam a guy. Not once, but twice in his career.
Yeah.
Still surprised he's alive. Not really, but really.
More than twice. And if you count coast to coast, more than 10 times.
Yeah, seriously. He is definitely got that versatility not even his pappy has, which is always great. And he's very pleasing, and the crowd loves him. Money. I can't really disagree any Carter with people who said that this was a bad match. This was a great match. Highlights of the event. Did you see that, Blue? Or did? Yeah. Well, it was a good.
On the conference call you had me doing for Armada.
I know, right? It's like I'm a slave driver or something.
I'm just saying.
All right. The next match is the 30-man Andre the Giant gimmick battle royal.
It was definitely a gimmick battle royal, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I can't name everyone who was in there. It'd be way too hard. So I'll just name a couple of names that were surprises in the match. To start off with was the low-key surprise, Tatanka. Tatanka is for all you youngins, was a Native American wrestler who started in the mid-90s, who had an undefeated streak, had a big feud with Shawn Michaels, but yet no title. And then came back around like the 2000s, I think around 2006. He had a bigger gut, but he actually lasted about 3 years in the company for that run too, which is kind of cool. And now I don't know if he's back. I hope he is. He was a great worker, but he was there. Then he had DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, WCW stalwart and former WWE European champion. He has his own place in Dallas, Texas. It's called the Accountability Crew for DDP Yoga users. And actually had an event down there as well. Wasn't expecting him to be there, but dang, it was awesome seeing DDP again. You got Shaquille O'Neal. Hey,
big surprise, and I do mean big. That guy is tall, bigger than the Big Show.
He is big. He's a big guy.
And it was cool seeing him. He actually got to do some wrestling moves, and the rumor has it. Maybe not rumor. I think Shaq said it himself. He wants to fight the Big Show at WrestleMania 33. Yes. Please do it. Please do it. So the last person I want to say who it is. Well, once the big guys were gone, Mark Henry, Big Show, Shaq, and even Kane, who was going to win the match, the one person that stood tall was NXT's own Baron Corbin. Came up to the main roster. I don't know if that's his official debut, but him winning the Andre the Battle Royale, his whole gimmick is hitting indie darlings and crushing them because he's a Matt Heel. See a guy like him stand next to the trophy Andre the Giant, pose like Andre the Giant's posing in that trophy, and crying and being so happy. That meant a lot to him. Mm-hmm. So that meant a lot to me. And I'm a sucker for battle royals anyway, so you know I loved it.
I can't even add to anything, man. It was definitely a good battle royal. I liked all the people who showed up. DDP and Shaq was definitely a surprise. And a Virtual Unknown winning the thing? Why not?
Yeah.
He deserved it. If he could survive 30 men, he deserved it.
Yeah.
Next.
Did you see it?
No, remember? She was on the conference call.
Oh, that's
that
right.
one either.
Did you see it anything?
I did. I saw some really critical. I think I came in with...
right. Okay, the next thing. Okay, so we're going to segue out of matches into The Rock's cameo appearance. He came out with a flamethrower. He lit his name on fire for some reason. He was showing off his new gun. And this is after the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders had performed for the crowd like the Nitro Girls. So they were all lined up. The Rock was feeling confident and swagger. He was flirting with a couple of the girls, including this one. He was just flexing the guns. It was like he was just having fun. And he was cutting a promo with the crowd and having fun with them, being happy. And he says there's going to be a lot of WrestleMania babies after WrestleMania tonight. So to give you, and that's not a spoiler. That's to give you a bit of The Rock's humor still. It's a little edgy for PGR stuff, but hey. So basically, he said there was over 101,000 people in that arena, setting a WWE attendance record. Yes. And that would have been all sunshines and kittens and rainbows until freaking Wyatt family came out and Bray Wyatt is spewing the most craziest promo like he always says. He could barely understand him. So The Rock just put them down. He called Eric Rowan inbred, and then he called Braun Strowman suckling on his mother's teeth for 26 years. Oh, Rock. Now, Luke Harper skipped his insult because he was one of the WWE injuries over the past year. But all this boiled down into getting an impromptu match with Eric Rowan. The Rock bottom him, counted for 6 seconds. Should we review that as the whole segment, the whole thing as itself was entertaining? Okay, let me finish the rest. After the match, the Wyatt family started to do their gang up thing until Rapido John Cena. He's back. So just like the other legends, they help beat up the crap out of people. And it's another thing where people start to get that. Oh, that's not fair. Austin, and Mick Foley, HUK made the League of Nations look like idiots. They should have stunned a New Day. And then Jericho beat AJ Styles. How does that make it look? Brock Lesnar beat Dean Ambrose. What did The Rock and John Cena do?
Haters gonna hate because they can't run.
Hey, they kicked some butt. The Rock was amazing. he got a chance to say all that he wanted to say.
Yeah.
He put them in their place. I mean, of course, their retort was, "You don't know who you're messing with."
That's right.
And The Rock's like, "Hey, let me just put it this way. We're clearly, you over there, your parents are related." And then he did the little thing about the 26 years of being, suckled. And then he went on and said, "Okay, you," what did he say? "You inbred Duck Dynasty bitches, get on out here. And we're going to make this a match." So it was great. I loved it. And this, John Cena came out, it just was icing on the cake.
Heck yeah. I missed him.
Because it was going to get ready to be. Rock was doing a pretty good job of knocking them one at a time. But then they decided they were going to split up into 3. One at
A
each
tactic
point.
that they always do.
They were getting ready to do their attack move 3 against 1 at the same time. And that's when John Cena came right out, right on time. It was great.
Yeah, agreed. It's like in the match itself, I'm not too hip on usually on squash matches like that. It really doesn't make Eric Rowan look great, but you know what? The Wyatt family started it. As a segment as a whole, the flamethrowers, the cheerleaders, the legends, the main event aces in the company, the battle, the surprise. That all screams WrestleMania. The whole thing was just amazing.
It was amazing. It was. I think this was really the best. I mean, WrestleManias are always good.
Well, we're almost done.
Okay.
One last thing. Congratulations, WWE Universe. Roman Reigns is your new WWE Champion. He beat Triple H in a solid contest. As far as Triple H matches go, theirs could have been better. It was more of a slugfest, which I'm not averse to. But it was slow in spots, but then you got this big giant Goliath, so it can be helped. There was a couple brutal things that I liked, and I'm happy for Roman Reigns. Let's hope this title reign is worth something. Let's hope it lasts a long time, because that man has earned it, whether certain fans think so or not.
Yeah, well, he was definitely knocking him down and taking him. He was given just as much as he was getting, so it just was like uncertainty all throughout the match. You weren't quite sure where it was going to go. And of course, our girl, she had to come out there looking like a carry-off from, I don't know, Mad Max, Thunderdome.
End of the world cult leader. I'm calling it.
She really did, was totally out of character. It was like, the only thing she was missing was having a couple of leopards on leashes, because she was seriously out there in her leather, looking like she is a throwback to the Mad Max Thunderdome days. And she cheated a little bit for her man.
Ironically, she was wearing Triple H's bow down to the King skull mask, and there was a bunch of guys dressed up with fake WWE title belts on them. Triple H has been dressing up in certain WrestleManias the last couple of years. He just came out as himself.
I know, which was surprising, because everybody had an over-the-top costume, almost everyone.
Yeah.
And then for him to come out with, like, literally nothing. One thing he did resonate well was he still can spit a mile.
Yeah. Yeah.
He spit a little bit, and I thought, oh, he lost it. He doesn't have it anymore. Then he was reserving that big mouthful of crap until he got up on the stage.
Yeah. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really dynamic WrestleMania. I loved it.
I enjoyed it very well from the beginning, and this time Backlash made me see everything from the pre-shows on to way to the ending, which I don't mind watching the actual event. I love it, actually. But the pre-shows, I said, it's just a pre-show. He made me watch a pre-show.
Pre-shows were cool too.
And
there was some good parts.
They were all very good. On the WWE Network, which is okay for pay-per-views. Not so much for everything else, because I want to watch normal wrestling on the app.
Oh yeah, you have to wait some time before you get Raw and SmackDown due to contractual obligations, but they shouldn't hold themselves to like that if they don't hold Hulu to, and yet they do. So that's annoying.
That is annoying, but we're getting off topic. I'm sorry. The WrestleMania was great. One of the best WrestleManias I've seen in a good long while. It had everything. It had good pacing, good wrestlers, good climaxes, very matches. The people won. I'm glad they did, except for Brock Lesnar. I wish he would just go away already.
They brought back the best of the best from the past, and they flowed it right into what was going on in the current day. It was just impressive. The costuming was better than in past years. I found that even roles of, even though you didn't see Vince, which was, I thought, is a little bit surprising, but you did. He was represented by his offspring,
right? By pretty much everyone else. You had Shane O'Mac, you had his daughter, you had his son-in-law, you had Marissa Mazzola, Shane's wife, in the crowd. You had Linda McMahon also in the crowd. You had Shane and Marissa's kids, who were dancing with Daddy after Shane's entrance. So every notable McMahon, aside from Triple H and Stephanie's kids, were at the event in some way or another, except the guy who started the company.
Yeah, because he's like 77 years old. He needs a break.
Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking, when you don't see him, there's usually a reason. It's usually health. And that's usually something they want to keep on the down low until he's back in the saddle again.
Oh, you're going to put him in the grave? Well, sounds like you're trying to put him in the grave.
That Hellion ain't leaving no time soon. That demon ain't going. Good die young. He ain't going nowhere for a long time.
But anywho, we'll see how Roman Reigns runs the show as the champion.
That fine Roman Reigns. I was very happy to see him win. For his fine self.
But we'll see. It may just be a short-lived reign because AJ Styles is now the new #1 contender.
That's right. If we're going to talk about Raw, Zack Ryder.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about Zack Ryder.
This is getting to be pretty long, guys.
Well, it is pretty long.
Well, let me just say this.
Real quick.
I like doing this. So, audience of the Armada Universe, and those who don't even go to my True Backlash website on YouTube, expect more of this from me at least. If I can wrangle in Bronze and Blue to do a couple of these, and they won't be long for just talking about a certain show, then you know what? That's all good.
I think that would be great.
Yeah. So expect more from this from me. Yeah, I like doing it.
Well, obviously, you're the biggest wrestling fan I know.
Yes, you are our WWE architect.
WWE.
Resident in-house architect.
Well, and New Japan and TNA and Indies and Ring of Honor. And
yeah,
I tried it. So make no except for all. It's just a new architect in town.
As for now, it's the one true on the gamer boss, Bronze.
The informational wrestling fan, True Backlash.
And the First Lady of Media Blue.
Telling you to pick up your keyboard, dust it off real good, and stick it straight into the subscribe button and subscribe to us today.
Absolutely. Subscribe. Join us.
Take care. Spike your hair.
And that's the bottom line, because Boss Braun said so.